Hi, welcome to episode 196 of the Corner of Knit and Tea. I'm Laura, also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Instagram and Twitter. I blog over at the corner of knitandtea.com, and that's where this episode and every episode show notes will be. I have an Etsy shop called the Corner of Knit and Tea where I sell my handspun yarns, and we have a Ravelry group called the Corner of Knit and Tea, and today I'm going to talk more about a knit along that's going to be taking place in that group shortly. So, hi, how are you? It is Sunday, August 19th. It is mid-afternoon. It is a rainy, humid day here. It is not cold, but it is rainy and overcast. And so mostly I'm puttering about the house. I have lots of different things to catch up on. But first of all, I have a bunch of stuff that I've been teasing you guys with. So let's start with that. As you may have seen I posted it on Twitter and Facebook, so if we're friends there, you will know. On Monday of this week, I resigned from my current job, where I have been almost 10 years. My day job is that I am a legal assistant, and I resigned because I have accepted a new position in the knitting industry. So I am going to be working part-time for Stretchcraft Marketing. Those are the folks who facilitate a lot of the product interviews product reviews that I have been doing over the last couple of years. I will probably do a little bit less on the reviewing because I'm going to be working with the clients. So in my new role, I will be working as an account manager, and I am doing blogging, blog writing, ghostwriting of tutorial posts, social media, and generally working with creative businesses to help them market themselves. So some of my clients are yarn companies, wool wash producers. I have a jewelry company, a new local yarn store in Southern California, and a variety of other clients. And I am super excited. This is probably actually the closest to my training because I have an undergraduate degree in business and an MBA. So using skills that I have not really used for the last probably all of my career. So I am working on learning more on marketing, and of course I already love the piece that involves knitting and creative businesses. And then in the rest of my time, I'm going to be working to get my tech editing business up and running more so than it is today. I have some wonderful clients with tech editing, but I will be looking to expand. So if you are watching and you are a designer, I would love to work with you. And if you know anyone who's looking for a tech editor, I would most appreciate the referral. And that is what has been occupying my brain the last month or two, and I have been preparing for that. Part of that has been that I have completely overhauled my craft room. The job is virtual, so I will be working from home, so I have completely overhauled the craft room to try and make room for a desk and a workspace, and to try and keep things a little bit cleaner, because I tend to just throw stuff in this room and let it stack up, and that is not great for focusing to be able to work in here. I have gotten a new desk and computer, and I'm working on setting up kind of a little corner of my craft room near the window for that, and then rearranging everything else. My feeling is that probably in the next week or two it will be ready for unveiling, so I will do a little craft room tour video when I get it done. But so that's big life changes, and it has been a lot on the brain. It has been why I have not gotten as much crafting done, because I have been busy sort of behind the scenes. And I am super excited. I'm sad to leave my coworkers at my current job, but the new job just feels so right in terms of the things that I want to do and the things that I'm excited about. So that is my really big news. But then I also have big news for you guys too. I told you that I would be starting a sweater along. So I was approached by Brown Sheep, who is one of the agency's clients, although we discussed this actually well before I came on board. Back in the spring, I reviewed their Prairie DK base. I did a cowl out of that, and then I just did the kids' hats in the Stratosphere base. And they wondered if I would be interested in hosting a fall knit-along for sweaters, and they wanted to sponsor some of the prizes. So I don't have all of the details ironed out, but what I do know is this. We are doing a fall sweater knit along, and the rules are any sweater you can do knit or crochet, but it has to be brown sheep yarn to be eligible for the prizes. Because Brown Sheep is offering the prizes. So it can be any of their bases. There's Lamb's Pride. There are a million different bases. I will try and put together a list of them for you. It can be a baby sweater. It can be an adult sweater. It can be whatever you want it to be. So anything you want, it just has to be Brown Sheep yarn. So I wanted to show you what I ordered. I ordered Brown Sheep Prairie Spun DK because I really liked that yarn. It is a, let me give you the details on it. It's 100% wool, 3-ply, 256 yards to 100 grams. And it is just a really, really nice yarn. I enjoyed knitting with it in the spring. It is pretty soft. The Stratospheres, they're superwash based, so if you want to knit in superwash, that's fine. I just decided I wanted to knit in this one. And I am going to do a colorwork sweater. I'm going to do Humulus by, I believe that's by Isabel Kramer. And so the body of the sweater is going to be in this gray, and then the pattern detailing around the yoke. And I have not looked at the pattern to see if the detailing also goes at the cuffs and the hem, but I'm going to do something at the cuffs and the hem if I have enough yarn. Is going to be in Coneflower, this pink. So it should pop and be great for color work. And so this is my sweater for the Brown Sheep knit along in the Corner of Knit and Tea group. The thread will be in the Corner of Knit and Tea group along with a list of all the rules as soon as I get them clarified. We are getting ready to start for a September 1st start date. So that gives you approximately about a week and a half, 2 weeks to buy some yarn and get some project ideas in mind. I can tell you Webb's has Brown Sheep products, as well as if you can shop your local yarn store, that is great. But Webb's does, and I will put some more details in the show notes about the knit along and pull a few other online sources where you can grab some yarn. Any of their bases, like I said, any sweater you can knit or crochet, no yardage minimums. The only requirement is that you use something that is produced by Brown Sheep. So one of their yarn bases, any of them. So we are super excited for that. The knit along will run at least 2 months and probably 3 because it is for sweaters. So if you want to, and if you want to combine this or double dip with any other knit alongs, any fall sweater knit alongs, if you want to do one for November for Nanny Swaymo, any of those things you may double dip as you see fit. And that is what I've got going on. So I gotta wind these up and swatch and take some photos, and you will see announcements on this, I hope, in the next week or so. I just have to figure out what else I need to do to get this off the ground and running, and we will knit sweaters because even though it's still hot out, winter is coming. Eventually, it will come. So those are my 2 big announcements, the new job and the new sweater knit along. And let's get into the actual podcast for today. Today, don't hate me. Please don't hate me. I am drinking pumpkin spice oolong. It is too early for pumpkin spice to be coming like as a reminder of fall and Thanksgiving. At the same time, when I went through my tea box and I looked for things, this one sounded good. So I am drinking pumpkin spice oolong from Tea Runners, and it has oolong tea, cloves, ginger roots, cinnamon chips, and pumpkin spice flavoring. It smelled amazing, and I'm drinking it in my Hershey's chocolate mug. Originally, I was looking for a chocolate tea, but I got to pumpkin oolong and was like, ooh, that sounds good. So that is what I am drinking today. And that's delicious. That is absolutely delicious. I know it's still a little soon for pumpkin. I'm not trying to push us into you know, pumpkin lattes and pumpkin frappuccinos and all of those kinds of things, but it sounded good. I can't help it. So knitting wise, I finished up 2 projects this week, which was exactly where I wanted to be. You'll see the sweater now has sleeves. That is what I did this week. This is Roxy's sweater. It is called Little Buds by Umi Knits. I have not had a chance to block it, which will make the leaves kind of stand out better. And I ordered buttons last week right before I talked to you. They are coming from Estonia. And so I have not finished my treatment on the like edges yet. I think what I'm going to do is either an I-cord or a crochet with button loops, but I gotta wait for the toggle buttons to show up and see what I want to do. Otherwise, all my ends are woven in. I probably will block it this week, and then I can just do the buttons when they get here. But so otherwise, I am calling this mostly done. I have quite a bit of yarn left over. My guess is this took probably between 600 and 650 yards. I will have to measure it this evening. And so I have enough left over to, I think I have two, yeah. So I have a smaller skein left over that I will use to do the edging, and then I have a slightly bigger skein left over that I will probably use to knit Roxy a winter hat. Maybe that will be a this week project, I don't know, but my guess is I have about a skein left over, which means I used about 660 yards, but I'll have to measure those and see. And again, that yarn that I used is, let's see if I've got it, it is Treasure Goddess Treasured Warmth Worsted, and it is beautiful. It is a super wash. She kettle dyes these, and they're just gorgeous, and mine was Song of the Sirens, which is this great kind of purpley. Anyway, so Roxy's sweater is done. I'm very excited about that. I'll just, like I said, do the buttons when they get here. The second project I showed you last week was, I said I wanted to do another bunny for a big sister gift to go with a baby gift, and I finished that this afternoon. This is Mario, the Artistic Rabbit. The pattern is by Jenna Krupar, who is Retro Lemon. I have made this a million times, and I absolutely love it, and I think I put the face on crooked. Just give it a little character. It is my own superwash, sorry, it is my own hand-spun yarn. I don't think it's superwash, it might be. It was called Candy Store, and so it's purple and yellow and purple and pink, and it just came out super cute. It's got a little fluff tail, and then it's got little arms and legs, and of course the big floppy ears. And I absolutely love it. I probably used, my guess is about 120, 150 yards, and then I stuffed it with just regular stuffing, you know, polyfill stuffing. And so this one is ready to go along with Baby Brother's sweater, so I'm going to try and get some photos of those this week and then send them off. So that is what I had hoped to accomplish this week, and so I'm done there. This coming week, I am going to try and knit mittens for both kids. I kind of have a thing about mittens. I hate mitten thumbs. I don't know why I hate them so much, but I hate mitten thumbs. I think it's just because picking up around there never looks as clean as I want it to, but both kids need a pair of mittens, so I'm going to use the rest of my Brown Sheep Stratosphere to knit the kids mittens. And then I found some leftover, I think it's Cascade Sport from when I did Roxy's sweater last year, and I got some more Kool-Aid, so I'm going to over dye that and hopefully make it as close to the previous blue as I can, and then knit her a scarf to go with her mittens, and so then she will have a full set. So I'm excited about that. That might be a thing this week. I'll probably dye those up tonight because that's Kool-Aid, so I can do that in food safe pots on the stove. Then my plan with any extra time left in the month is to swatch for my new sweater and then go back to maybe the summer sweater in the Air Luxe, the one that I was doing. That is the Pismo Beach pullover in the teal, and so my plan is to work on those. After the mittens, I didn't have anything else that I had like slated for August, so I'm going to go back to some whips. Come September, I will be doing my sweater, and then probably more winter things for the kids, socks, and maybe a couple more hats. I think I have 2 hats for Miles and just 1 for Roxy, so Roxy will need a couple more, couple pairs of socks for Roxy. I would like to do some socks for myself, and I do have some yarn coming for those for various things. And then just pick back up on my sweaters, and I still have... Gosh, I have yarn wound for a couple shawl projects that I would love to do. I really don't know. I'm just trying to get everything done. Everything possible. I need to go back and look at my lists for the latter half of the year and find out if there are things that I need to get done or if I can just pick things back up and do them. And actually tonight I decided that I am going to pull out my Scrappy Ripple Afghan. That is the sock weight leftovers blanket that I'm doing. It is actually a crochet blanket by Lucy Attic 24, and I decided that I'm going to work on that this evening because I am between projects, and I am happy to do that. So next week I hope to bring you finished mittens and maybe a little something else in progress, and then we'll be getting ready for September projects. So that is knitting. Spinning, I have an update. This is the final 2 ounces of the 8 ounces of Beelzebubs and Monsters. That is from Hello Yarn. The other 6 ounces are on the wheel. So this is the last bit of fiber that I have to spin, and my hope is to spin and ply this week and be able to show you this one next week when I come back. So I went ahead and picked out another fiber braid. This is, let's see, it is August 19th. So I'm going to hope that anyone who subscribes to the Hello Yarn Club has already received their club for July, because this is, that is what I want to spin. This is overgrown, and it is greens and yellows, and it is so much fun. There's like little bits of turquoise in it, and then lots of greens and yellows. Excuse me. And it is super, super bright and kind of springy, and I realize that's a silly thing to go into fall, but I wanted to spin it. So this is Tarhi, so it's going to be crazy, crazy fluffy, and it's nice and soft, and so that is next up on my wheel. So I think that's all I have to show you this week. I hope that you have enjoyed things and are getting some sweater ideas. I would love it if you knit along with me in this sweater knit along for the fall. I am starting to get bitten by the sweater bug again. I have several sweater quantities, and if I could turn them all into sweaters this fall, it would be great. I suspect I'm going to have a little bit more free time to knit once I start the new job. I need to be working to get back up to 40 hours. At the same time, I suspect that I will have a little bit more free time now that I won't be commuting. And yeah. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you have had a wonderful week, and until I speak with you again, I will say, as I always do, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye.